Welcome students, welcome to the next session of section analysis 2. So in the previous class we have started our matrix methods approach for the analysis of independent structures. Why we came for the thing? Because we are having so many methods, but as the methods are problematic for the multi-story structures, even the CAN is. So we are going for the available computerized methods. So the combination of computerized concept and the available conditional methods for the structural engineering, we are going for the matrix methods. Okay, in the matrix methods we are having two. One is flexibility method, another one is stiffness method. Okay, so these flexibility method and stiffness method we are going in different approaches. As the flexibility method is involving forces as unknowns, that's why it is a force method or a flexibility method or a compatibility method. And this stiffness method is using the concept of displacements. Okay, the displacements are unknowns, as the displacement is a rotation or a movement. Okay, the displacements are the main unknowns here in case of the displacement method or the stiffness method. That's why displacement method, stiffness method or equilibrium method we are naming. And then we came into our basic definitions. What are the main terms or the definitions we are using in stiffness as well as flexibility? So in both the methods we are using some common terms. Those I am learning now, and so those we are learning now, and those are degree of static indeterminacy and degree of kinematic indeterminacy. So static indeterminacy, the number of equations required. Okay, the number of equations required over above the available static equilibrium equations. So for calculating the unknown support reactions, some new equations were required. For calculating the new support reactions, unknown reactions, I need some new equations. Those new equations will help us for calculating the unknowns, as this step is used, and I call it as degree of static indeterminacy or degree of redundancy. And in another way, we are having the next definition, that is degree of kinematic indeterminacy. So when we say a structure is kinematically indeterminate, when the number of equilibrium conditions needed for finding the displacements of the joints. Okay, so the number of equilibrium conditions required for finding the displacements of the joints of the structure is called as degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Simply, how many new equations required over available static equilibrium equations, how many over the available static equilibrium equations, how many equations are required for calculating the unknown support reactions in a structure, that is degree of redundancy of the structure or degree of static indeterminacy of the structure. And here, in case of the kinematic indeterminacy, how many number of equilibrium conditions required? How many number of equilibrium conditions are required for calculating the displacements of the joints? So, how many displacements of the joints possible? Those many equations I need. So, that is degree of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Okay, so the degree of equilibrium, how many number of equilibrium conditions are required for finding the displacement components of all the joints, how many number of equilibrium conditions required for finding the displacement components of all the joints on a structure can be called as degree of kinematic indeterminacy or degree of freedom. And in case of the free end, as it is having freedom in all the directions, vertical, horizontal and rotational, the degree of freedom for the free end is 3. And for the roller end or a simply supported end, it can resist only in one direction, so the remaining two directions are free. And for a hinged end, it will resist in horizontal and vertical way, the rotation is free, that's why it has a degree of freedom or a degree of kinematic indeterminacy as 1. And in case of the fixed end, it was completely restrained, there is no degree of freedom. Now, these supports in a combination we have got to the structure, and for the beam structure, what are the unknowns? So, in case of one end hinge and other end roller, degree of freedom is equal to 1, degree of freedom is equal to 2. And for the propped cantilever, degree of freedom is equal to 0, degree of freedom is equal to 2. Because how many ways the joint can displace, that is the degree of freedom. Yes, I can displace in this way, that is my freedom. I can displace in this way, that is the freedom. So, degree of freedom is equal to how many ways it can give the displacement. How many displacement of the joints possible. Okay, that is degree of freedom. Now, in a whole, for the structure, the total degree of freedom or the total degree of kinematic indeterminacy, that is 2. For here, this is 3. Summation. And for the fixed beam, as it is not showing any freedom, no freedom is there. Here, no freedom is there. So, the total degree of kinematic indeterminacy for the fixed beam is 0. The next thing, for the pin jointed framed structures. Pin jointed framed structures, when it is a plane frame or when it is a space frame. Okay, pin jointed structure. Pin jointed means truss like. When when any pin jointed framed structure. Pin jointed frame is what? It is a truss. Okay. Pin jointed frame, when it is plane, only it is in 2D. What is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy? How many displacements possible? Each joint can show so many displacements. Each joint, just it was pinned, right? Simply pin jointed. So, it can give this displacement, like that it can show so many displacements. So, for such type of more number of jointed structure, the number of degree of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy is equal to 2j minus E, where j is number of joints, where j is the number of joints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, when two members were connected, that is a joint, number of joints, and then where small e, 2j minus E we have said, right? So, E is the number of compatibility conditions known. Boundary conditions, what I know, that is E. So, what are the boundary conditions we know, that is E, and 2 times j minus E, that is the degree of kinematic indeterminacy for the planed pin jointed frame. If it is having some next layer also, okay, maybe if the structure is having next layer, in a 3D way, that truss was spread, like our convocation hall, number of trusses were there and which was continued even in the top layer also, not one plane frame, next plane truss, or like that, not like that. The trusses itself should be interconnected even in the third dimension, not only in the xy dimension, in the third dimension also needed to be connected, and such a type of spaced pin jointed frames, the number of unknowns are 3j minus E. Number of degrees of freedom or number of degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 3j minus E. Those many displacements possible. Okay. So, those many equations required for calculating the displacements. Now, for the rigid jointed frames, degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 3j minus E for the 2D or 2-dimensional frames or the plane frames, and for the space frames there is 6j minus E. 2j minus E, 3j minus E, and then 3j minus E, 6j minus E. Pin 2D, 2j minus E. Pin jointed 3D, 3j minus E. Rigid jointed 2D, 3j minus E. 3D, 6j minus E. J is number of joints, those many joints possible. E is number of the compatibility equations we know. Okay, number of the compatibility conditions or the boundary conditions I know. Okay, what are the boundary conditions we know? That is the E count. Okay, in case of a beam, we will go for the calculation of all the things. So firstly, degree of kinematic indeterminacy of a simply fixed beam, both ends fixed, no degree of freedom, no degree of freedom. Here, no degree of freedom, 2 is the degree of freedom, roller end. Here, 1 degree of freedom, here 2 degrees of freedom. So, total degrees of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy. As it is having freedom, I need thus many equations for calculating that freedom's answer. Okay. Next thing. Next, we came for a plain truss. Pin jointed truss. Okay. So, this pin jointed truss has given us this one is a pin jointed 2D frame. This one is a truss. So, pin jointed 2D frame. So, that's why the corresponding 2D frame, we have a general name, that is truss, 2D truss. And for the pin jointed 2D frame, the degree of kinematic indeterminacy dk is 2j minus e. And then for a rigid jointed 2D frame, pin jointed 2D, 2j minus e. Pin jointed 3D, 3j minus e. Now, rigid jointed 2D frame, 3j minus e. Okay, what is this j? Just now we have said j is number of joints. As we have given the joint numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So, that j is 6. Okay, so this is 2 times 6 minus. What is E? E is boundary conditions or the compatibility conditions we know. So, for this structure, the basic compatibility conditions are 3 only. Okay, so as I know 3 equations, so that is 3. So, 6 into 2 or 2 into 6 minus 3, which is 9. The degree of kinematic indeterminacy or the whole structure's degree of freedom. When you see a joint, I can say freedom. But when you see the whole structure, we can say degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Now, in case of this rigid jointed frame, what we can say? 3j minus e, again 3 times number of joints. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So, 12 joints were there, 3 times 12 minus how many equations, how many compatibility conditions or the boundary conditions I know? That is, each support has 3 conditions. So, each support is having 3 compatibility conditions. That's why 3 fixed supports, 3 times the 3, that is 12 into 3 minus 9 is equal to 3 times the 3, which is 9, and dk is 12 times the 3 minus 9, which is 27. Okay, so the degree of kinematic indeterminacy of a rigid jointed frame 2D is, for this structure I have calculated, that is 3j minus e. J joint equations, e, that e comes from the support conditions, fixity, so 3. So 3 times the 3. 1 end hinge 2, other end roller 1. So 3. So the boundary conditions are the compatibility conditions we are having. Now we are going for the spaced frame. Rigid jointed 3D. that is 6j minus e. 6 times number of joints. See here, what are the number of joints? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One way 6. Again 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again 12. Next 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So total number of joints. See, joint is this point also. The fixed support is also a joint. This is also a joint. Okay. So the number of joints are 18. And what are the compatibility conditions? 3 into, because everything is a fixed support. So how many fixed supports? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 fixed supports. And also we can write 6 equilibrium equations. So why those things? The compatibility conditions in 6. Sigma fx, sigma fy, sigma fz, summation of moments in the xy direction, yz direction, xz direction. Like that, all the rotations, all the moments were restrained. So that is the compatibility conditions. Okay. So this condition we are using for the space 6 times 6. Remember that E answer in case of plane, that is 3. In case of spaced, that is 6. Okay, 6j minus E, and 6 into number of joints. E comes from how many number of ends, and if one end is hinged, other end is fixed, the corresponding count will come. And it is a space, that's why 6 times multiplication, 6 times 6. So 6 into 18 minus 6 times 6. And I have got the output of degree of kinematic independency as 6 times 18 minus 36, which is 72. The degree of kinematic independency. How many displacements are possible? The total displacements are possible at all the joints are the number of total displacements or the degree of freedom possible at the joints is 72. Next thing, generalized coordinate system. So what is the meaning of generalized coordinate system? Yes, being a mathematical or a normal science student, we can say coordinate system. But here the coordinate system was completely different. See here. The meaning of coordinate system in the matrix methods of structural analysis is different from the Cartesian or polar coordinate system. So generally what we say coordinate system? Coordinate system means from x how much distant is, from y how much distant is. That is the coordinate condition. Or in a polar way, how much angle, how much radial distance. That is the coordinate system. So for a particular point I am indicating with respect to x, that is Cartesian. For a point I am indicating with respect to angle, that is polar coordinate system at the radial distance and the angle. Okay, but these two are not the coordinate system I am using. Okay, the directions of the forces or the displacements which are to be found to determine the structural systems are known as generalized coordinates. So coordinates here are the directions of forces or displacements to determine the structural system here being known as the generalized coordinates. X direction, y direction, theta direction, radial direction, those things we will know. Now as the unknowns are displacements and directions, displacements and the forces. So the directions of the forces or the directions of the displacements are my coordinate system. Based on the structure, the coordinate system will come. What is the force when it is coming like this? That is the coordinate systemal direction. When the direction of the force and direction of the displacement, these things, direction of the forces or directions of the displacements can be called as the corresponding coordinate system for the structural analysis. For example, in the analysis of a single bay, single story frame, shown in the figure. So I am seeing a single bay, single story frame A, B, C. Okay, the coordinates selected are 1, 2, 3. Then the redundant force vector P and the displacement vector delta are given by. So we have said in the direction of forces, in the direction of the displacements. Okay, directions of the forces or directions of the displacements are the unknowns, and that is the coordinate system here. And seeing the end, I am observing one vertical reaction as one coordinate, horizontal reaction as second coordinate, rotational component or the moment at the support as the third component. And force displacement vectors we are writing like BD, HD and MD. And the corresponding displacement vector or the delta vector is delta VD, delta HD and theta D. Force vector. So, in that direction, force is coming, that is first coordinate. So, in the one direction that is coming, that is VD. Next, second is HD. And the third is MD, moment at D. Those are the force vector triangle. Next thing, the displacement vector matrix. The displacement vector is displacement in the VD direction, delta in VD direction, delta in HD direction, displacement, theta in MD direction, rotation. So, the Cartesian coordinates and the normal coordinates like polar coordinates are completely different. Here, coordinate means direction of the particular force or direction of the particular displacement. That is the coordinate system. That direction is the indication. If the stiffness matrix method for the single bay, single story frame, okay, if in the stiffness matrix method for the single bay, single story frame, the coordinates selected are as shown in the figure. So, in case of the stiffness matrix method, or what we have said stiffness matrix method, force method or the flexibility method. In case of stiffness matrix method, displacement method. Okay. So, this displacement method. So, one sway is there. The structure is moving in the horizontal direction. That is the sway. And the unknowns, the coordinates are selected as shown in the figure. In this case, the displacement vector and the force vectors are given by. So, I am taking, these are my unknowns. So, one is rotation at B, second is rotation at C, and then third is sway. There, force vectors and displacement vectors we have written, right? Here, I have given output as the displacement vector and the force vector. How we will give? The corresponding 1, 2, 3 is the answer. Okay. At 1, the corresponding theta is the corresponding displacement output. In the matrix analysis, force means forces as well as the moments depending upon the coordinate direction. Similarly, displacements means deflections as well as the rotations. So, forces we say, but it is involving force as well as moments also. Force method we say, but forces and moments we use. Displacements we say, but it is involving displacements as well as rotations. Displacements and rotations. Okay, so force methods and displacement methods. Generally we use the word force means forces, but here forces or moments also the forces, because that is a moment, force moment applying. Similarly, displacement either in the form of sliding, translation or in the form of rotation. Both are displacements only. So, the force vector or displacement vector will be given like this. Okay. The next thing, we are going for the main method of flexibility matrix, stiffness matrix, and then we will go into the flexibility matrix method and stiffness matrix method and its application towards the continuous beams. Okay. Those concepts we will deal in the next